Hi, so we're going to talk about function return. So we can use the return keyword to return back the result of any operation that we carry out within a function. So let's see an example here. For example, we have this variable. We can call it my sum, and we'll say my sum is 0 just to initiate it. And then we create the function with the function keyword and my func. So we're going to put a variable num, or we're going to put an argument num, and we're going to say that my sum plus equals the num. So what this means is that whatever value we put in num should be added to my sum and assigned to my sum. And now normally when we create the console.log method and we display my sum this way, and we call the function my func, and the parameter or argument we use in this case is let's say 5, and we save. So what we have here is 5 as the result. Now why is it sending 5? Because we put 5 in the as a variable num, and within the function 5 is added to my sum and stored in my sum, and now we called it out by this statement to log out the result my sum to 5. Now what if we do not have this console log .log option within our function? So how do we now know the result that should be displayed? For example, if we save this, we do not have any value to access. Why? Because it still carries out the operation, but that is it. It doesn't go beyond the function itself. So a way to take this result away from the function is to use the return keyword. So we can just say return, and we'll take my sum, and that's it. And now when we return this, we can make reference to the result by accessing the function. So what that means is that we can decide to place this as a variable. So let result be equals to that, and we just say now console.log result this way. And if you save that, now we have 5. So what we did was we created the function and we asked it to carry out an operation, and then we said the result of that operation should be returned outside the function, and now we assigned that result to a variable called results, and we were able to log it out in the console, and that is why we have 5 here. So let's try the task and see if it's something we can do. So we're going to try the first one. It says create a function times 5 that accepts one argument, multiplies it by 5, and returns the new value. So let's try that. So first of all, we need to create the function with the function keyword, and the function is going to be called times 5, and it accepts one argument, so we'll just call that maybe num, and it says it multiplies it by 5 and returns a new value. So what we can just do here is to return the value, the variable, now the number that has been put in, times 5, like it says. And now we should be able to have access to this. We can just say results is equals to that, and we log out on the console the result. So if the number we put, for example, is 5 and we save, now we have 25. So we were able to do that. So times 5, you put 5 here and it multiplies it by 5, and it sends it out so that whenever you call the function, it can be stored in the variable results. And once we call the result, we'll be able to get the answer. So let's try the second one. It says create a function add 5 without any arguments. This function adds 5 to the sum variable, but its return value is undefined. So let's try by creating the function add 5, and it says without any arguments. So this function adds 5 to the sum variable. So let's create a variable sum. So let sum is equals to 0, just to initiate it. And now it says it adds 5 to the sum variable. So we're going to return the sum plus 5 that way. And it says but its return value is undefined. So it means that we are not going to do this, because normally we're meant to return this, but I'm not going to return it so that it will be undefined. So what I'll do instead is I'm going to say sum plus equals that way, and now it adds the value we give is 0, and now it adds 5, so it adds 5 to the sum, and it doesn't return any value. It's because in the first place we can change this to initiate it to 5, and sum will now be 10, but without the return value it will give undefined. So let me leave that as 0. So I'm going to now say that let result be equals to add 5, and we're going to console.log that result. So because there is no return keyword, it doesn't return the result of the function. We are expecting an undefined, and that's what we just got here. So the third one says call a process argument function which adds 3 to a number and divides the result by 5 with an argument of 7, and assign its return value to the variable processed. So let's see how to do that. So first of all, we want to create the function, and we'll just say function, and we'll call the function process arg, and it says which adds 3 to, okay, let me just complete that. And it says it adds 3 to a number and divides the result by 5. So first of all, we need to specify the number variable here, and we expect to return whatever that's going to b, and we want to first of all add 3 to the number, so plus 3, so num plus 3, and divide the result by 5. So first of all add 3 and divide it by 5, so something like this, and divide by 5. And then it says that we should return the value of the variable to the variable processed. So I'm going to say let the variable processed be equals to, and I'm going to copy this that way. So I'm going to console.log the results. So I'm going to copy this and place that here. So we need to put in an argument, and maybe I'll just say 7 and save. And now we have 2. So why? Because when 7 goes here, it's called here within the function, and 7 is added to 3 to make 10, and 10 divided by 5 is 2. So it's going to return that to outside the function, and whenever you call the function, it contains the result which was returned, and in this case is 2. So let's process, which is the variable, now takes the value of 2, and once you you log out the value to the console, it will give you 2. So that's what we did here. So that's basically how to use the return keyword within functions.